So please listen to the following teaching with the proper Mahayana motivation, which is to attain enlightenment for the sake of all sentient beings. And as I keep repeating many times over, the motivation is very important because even when we do Dharma practice, spiritual practice, we were brought here to do a spiritual practice. Sometimes we come here with a worldly motivation. So therefore, it's very important to clear away all the worldly motivations and then seek enlightenment for the sake of all sentient beings. So with a proper motivation, then whatever activity we do, such as listening to the Dharma or giving Dharma talk from my side, it becomes very it becomes very meaningful. So if you engage in any activities without the proper motivation, so the better or the greater the motivation, the better the outcome. The greater the motivation, the better the outcome. So if you do a similar action, if you commit a similar action with lesser motivation, then the results are also not so much. Even if you work very hard, even if you do the best you can to practice, if you do not have the proper motivation, this will not bring you an enormous result. But if you have a proper motivation, then any small activity, a small action can also become a great practice. So it is all up to the practitioner, not the practice itself. So you cannot say this practice is big or that practice is small. All practice are it depends on the practitioner himself or herself, whether this practice becomes great or not great. So if you have a proper motivation and follow the practice accordingly with the instructions, then it becomes a great practice. So I keep saying that every time, but I'm going to repeat once again that let's all have a proper motivation, that today what I'm going to do, listening to the Dharma talk, engage in Dharma, engage in the discussion of Buddha's teaching, and asking questions or listening to the Dharma talk. All this I'm doing in order to become a completely enlightened Buddha, so that I can help countless sentient beings. For that reason, with that motivation, I'm going to listen to this Dharma talk. Oh yeah. So if you remember, we are talking about the law of causality or karma or action. So the topic for our the topic that we are discussing today is karma. We have been discussing karma for the last couple of weeks too, I think. So we described the different variations of karma, like the karmic causes, the karmic effects, and different varieties of the karmic effects. So we described in great detail about the functions of karma, and so today we are going to talk about so another very important factor of the karma, which is the very fact that the karma is the denominator, or the karma determines everything that we enjoy or experience in the samsaric world. So karma is the sort of the great denominator for everything. So when I say karma is the great denominator, one should not think of karma as a it's important when I say karma, I'm not saying the karma, okay? So you have to understand this very importantly. In Buddhism, we never say the karma, like or we usually say karma, and karma. When we say karma, we are talking about my karma, your karma, our karma, basically individual karma that pertains or that has been accumulated by individual people, right? There is no one great karma or the karma that determines everything. Even though we use the term all-determining factor, the all-determining force of karma, it doesn't mean there is one karma, there is one higher power up there, a higher force that is responsible for everything that's happening to us. So there's no such thing. Now, this is very important, okay? So even though we believe in law of causality, karma is there. So when we say karma, we are talking about individual karmas. So there is no karma with a capital A. It's a karma with a capital K. There is no such thing. It's all small letters, K-A-R-M-A. Basically, what I'm saying is all karmas are individual based. So I am responsible for my karma, you are responsible for your karma, we are responsible for our karma, and so on and so forth. So there is no one universal karma that determines everything for all of us. So there is, this is a very important factor. So there is no universal karma, there is only individual karmas. We are all responsible individually for our own karmas. So this is very important. And today we are going to talk about when we say the all-determining force of the karma, the all-determining quality or the all-determining force of the karma. We are not talking about there being a universal karma that is responsible for the the sufferings and the enjoyments of all sentient beings as one. There is no such thing. Okay, so this actually differentiates us from the philosophy of a theistic religion, where you have a God and the God with a capital G, G-O-D, God with a capital G. The God is the common denominator for everything, or the God determines everything for you, depending on what you did. So your actions, you are responsible for your actions, but at the same time, that is being monitored by God, some individual up there. In some beliefs, some theistic religion, even though you don't believe in a creator God, there is a higher force up there which is responsible for everything to pull everything together. So in Buddhism, there is no one karmic force, universal karmic force that connects to all the individuals, right? So when we say karma, even though we use the term karma and karma all the time, and we always say one of the most important traits of karma is the all-determining force, or the all-determining qualities of the karma. We're not talking about one karmic force that is universal and that is responsible for all the good and bad that is happening in the universe. Okay? Yeah. So if you are following, if you have the book with you, and the English page is 118. 118. Okay? So we are on the third chapter so it's outlined, the all-determining quality of actions. Okay? So action means karma. So we are on page 118. Oh, yeah. So what this paragraph basically says is that all the experiences that we have in samsara, whether it's a pleasant experience, I'm not going to read word by word from the text, but I'm going to summarize them. Okay. So if you have the book with you, you can read it, open it up and read anyways. So there are innumerable types of experiences that we enjoy or suffer in samsara. Good experiences that we enjoy, bad experiences that we suffer. So all of that comes from our actions. So if you have the book with you, you can see that it says that the pleasures and the miseries that each individual being experiences from the summit of existence. So summit of existence is a stage that you reach when you through meditative practice. It is a stage that you can reach through meditative practice, and that is the highest position or stage that you can reach within samsara. So that is called the summit, right? The top of existence. Existence here means existence in samsara. So usually in Tibetan, existence and samsara, these two terms are used interchangeably. Existence and samsara means the same thing when we speak about that in the sutra. Okay, so summit of existence is a stage. It is the highest meditative stage that you can reach within samsara, not out of samsara, within samsara. Okay, so from summit of existence, which is the summit, which is the top stage in samsara, within samsara, from the summit of existence down to the very lowest depth of hell, hell being the lowest, arise only from the positive and negative actions that each has amassed in the past, right? So it's not necessary to be past as in the past life. It can be from this life also, but it has to be the effect, because the effect has to follow the cause. So the cause has to be committed in the past, and the effects we either experience right now or we experience in the future. So what I'm trying to highlight here is, it says here that arise only from the positive and negative actions that each has amassed. So that's the point I'm trying to make earlier. So there is no the karma, right? There is no the karma with a capital K. So it's all small letters. That means it's individual karmas that we are responsible for. So all the sufferings that we undergo, or all the pleasures that we enjoy in the samsara, is due to our own good and bad actions. Okay, so that is the that is the summary of this chapter. The all-determining quality of actions, meaning action or our karma determines everything. If it's something good, that's because it's something if we are experiencing some enjoyable moments, that is due to our action, our karma, precisely our good karma. If we are suffering, if we are going through something bad, something unpleasant, that is also due to the karma. But this is a different karma. This is called negative karma. So all the good things that we enjoy is due to positive karma. All the bad things that we go through is due to negative karma. So I think I said that many times in the past too. What we are experiencing right now is not called karma. What we are experiencing right now is the effect of our karmas. Okay, karma is the cause, and effect of the karma is what we enjoy or suffer as our experiences. So, in a nutshell, the chapter that we are going to cover today means the name of the chapter, the title of the chapter is all determining quality of actions, all determining quality of karma, the all determining force of karma. So what it determines is what the outcome. Karma determines our outcome. Our karma, our action determines our effects, our experiences, our life, our suffering, our enjoyment, the pleasant things that we enjoy and the unpleasant things that we suffer is determined by our own actions, our own karma. That is the meaning of this chapter, the all-determining quality of actions.
Yep. So there's the quote from the sutra. I will just recite the quote anyways. The joys and sorrows of beings all come from their actions, said the Buddha. The diversity of actions creates the diversity of beings and impels their diverse wanderings. Vast indeed is the net of actions. So action can be interchangeably used with karma. So the joys, as I said earlier, the joys that we enjoy, the pleasures that we enjoy, and the suffering that we undergo, all come from our actions or our karma. And so therefore, the diversity of the actions, right? The diversity of the actions determines the diversity of beings. So if you remember, people who does the most negative deed, like killing someone or killing somebody, that would be born in a hell realm. So hell realm is one of the 6 realms. If you kill someone, you will be born in the hell realm. So that actually determines where you are being born as. Even if you are not born in the hell realm, exactly in the hell realm, you will have to undergo a lifestyle or a life that is similar to being born in the hell realm. So when you are in the hell realm, the term for hell in Tibetan is Nyalwa, or in Sanskrit it's Nark, which means no moment, not a single moment of happiness, not a single moment of joy, or basically Nark means no joy. So when you are born in the hell realm, you experience not one single moment of joy. So even if you're born in a human life and you are always worried, always anxious, always suspicious, and always suffering from something mentally or physically, then you are similar to being born in the hell realm. Even though your body may be that of a human being, it's similar to experiencing a hellish life. So therefore, the diversity of the actions creates the diversity of beings and impels their diverse wanderings. So someone who is in a human life, when they kill someone, they accumulate the negative actions, negative karma. They accumulate the negative karma to be born in the hell realm, and then they transfer or they wander from a human life to a hell life. So the wandering of the sentient beings is also determined by their actions. So vast indeed is this net of actions. Basically, when you when you engage in action, a karmic, sort of a karmic account is created. Okay, so until your karmic dues are paid off or it's purified, so you either pay it off by going through the suffering or enjoying the pleasure of the karmic action that you have committed, or you have to purify that. If it's a negative karma, you have to purify that. If you do neither, if you don't purify them, there is no other way but you have to suffer the consequences. So it doesn't matter how long it takes. So in the sutra, it talks about 100 kalpas. So one kalpa is close to 1 million years. So 100 kalpa would be like 100 million years. So even if it takes 100 million years, whatever negative or positive karma you have created, you have accumulated, that the separate accounts for both positive and negative karma will always remain there until you pay it off. So therefore, there is no escape from our karma. So there are a couple of stories in connection to that. So we will now story time, okay? So it doesn't matter how long, as I was saying, your karma determines the consequences that you enjoy or you suffer, right? And it doesn't matter how long it has been. So one story is during Buddha's own time. So the Buddha belongs to the clan, or his race or his clan is called, his tribe or his clan is called the Shakyas. Usually we call him Shakya Muni. So Muni means able one, and Shakya is the name of the clan. So the able one from the Shakya clan, because he was able to achieve enlightenment. So he was the one to succeed. He was the one to go beyond. That's why he's called the able one. So he's called the Shakya Muni, the able one from the Shakya clan. So basically, the Shakya clan has an animosity towards another clan called the Sarvastis. The Sarvasti and the Shakyas are enemies. Those two clans are enemies. And so one time, so several times, Buddha tried to stop the Sarvasti king from annihilating the Shakyas, because the king of Sarvasti, which is called Virudaka, he respects the Buddha, so he listened to the Buddha, and he did not kill the Shakyas in the first place. But then their animosity grew stronger and stronger, and eventually even Buddha could not stop, and the people from the Shakya clan were actually killed. Actually, the number, according to the sutra, is 80,000 people were killed. So these are the people from the Buddha's kind of clan, the tribe to which the Buddha Shakyamuni belonged to. So these were killed by the Sarvasti king. So then when the disciple asked, and at the same time, Buddha himself had a headache, okay? So, and when they asked how this happened, the reason or the cause behind that, Buddha said a long time ago, many kalpas, many hundreds of millions of years ago, there was a time when a certain fisherman village, they caught a lot of fish, and they caught a lot of fish, and they killed a lot of fishes, and they actually when they killed the fishes, and then they caught the two biggest, the biggest of the two fishes that they caught, even though they caught a lot of fishes. So the two big ones, they did not kill the fish immediately. Instead, they just poked the fish and then put it on a pole with some water. So the fish is not completely dead, but it's like hanging there and writhing in agony, and like that. And at that time, the Buddha Shakyamuni, at that time, he was not a Buddha, and he was a small boy at the fisherman's village. And he was, he started, even though he was not the one who caught the fish or killed the fish, but he looked at the fish and he started laughing. So Buddha said, because I laughed at the misery of the fish at that time, because I am suffering in my life right now, because I have attained enlightenment, because I've attained what I've attained, I do not have to undergo the same fate as my fellow Shakyas who were all killed. So because Buddha has, Siddhartha Gautama has now become Buddha, so now he doesn't, they were not able to kill him. I mean, his negative karmic debt has been purified to the extent that they were not able to kill him, but he still has to undergo some sort of pain. So he has to undergo headache, and that was able to, so he has to pay his dues too. So on another occasion, he pricked Buddha's foot was pricked by a thorn. And he said that was because in one of the many lifetimes before, he was a bodhisattva, and then he killed someone called the Black-Speared Man. So this man is going to kill a lot of other people in order to stop that man from killing other people and also from committing a very heinous and grievous negative action. The Bodhisattva at that time killed the black-speared man, and because of that, in this lifetime, Buddha's feet was poked by a thorn, so he has to undergo that pain. So Buddha shared that story. So if now we can tell that if Buddha Shakyamuni has to go through such an fate, then it's quite sure that we ordinary sentient beings, we will have to undergo the consequences of our past positive and negative karma for sure.
Rinpoche, the second story, the Buddha has a stone. I don't hear clearly.
Like a thorn, like when you rose have thorn.
A thorn from a tree.
Thorn, yes, a thorn, yeah. A thorn punctured his feet.
Yes. Okay.
And that was because in his previous lifetime he killed someone. Yeah, as a bodhisattva, he was a bodhisattva. In order to save 500 other people, he killed somebody. And so even though he accumulated a lot of positive karma for saving 500 people, he also accumulated negative karma for taking someone's life too. And so that he has to pay the price because he did not purify that part. So he had to purify that through his with the thorn piercing his feet. Another story is that of Shariputra and Mughalina. So like the chief disciples of Buddha at that time, right? So Shariputra is known as the master of wisdom, so he's the wisest of them all, and Mughalina is known as the most powerful. He is the master of the most powerful, the one with the most powerful magical power. So Shariputra and Mughalina, they were both arhats, and they would usually go around not just in the human world, but they would usually go to different worlds as well, like hell realms and other realms. So one day they went to the hell realms, and then they met one guru, one teacher who so there was one teacher, one guru they met, and the guru said, please, when you go back to the human world, tell all of my students living there, don't follow me, follow the Buddha, because I know I have lied. What I believe to be the truth is actually lies, and because of that, I was born in the hell realm, and I'm suffering so much. So this guru belongs to the school called Tirtika school. So it's not a Buddhist school. So that master sent this message. So when the message was relayed, Shariputra and Mughalina came back, and they went to meet the Tirtika students. And when they met them, first Shariputra went there. Mughalina didn't go. Shariputra went there and told them that your master is in hell realm. Don't follow your master. Come and follow the Buddha Shakyamuni. This is the message that he sent and all that. And because Shariputra did not have the karma did not have that karma at the moment, nobody listened to Shariputra. And then when Shariputra came back, Mughalina asked Shariputra, did you tell them the message? Did you give the message that their teacher asked to give? And Shariputra said, yes, I gave them the message, but they're not paying attention to me. They are, they are not interested in what I'm saying. They do not want to come to the Buddha's teaching. They don't believe me. And Mughalina said, let me go and tell them. And Mughalina went there. He's also Arhat. He went there and he told the Tirtika students that your teacher is now in hell realm because he practiced the wrong he followed the wrong practice, and now you are also going to go to the hell realm if you don't mend your ways. And they were so angry. They said, first Shariputra came, now you came. You are insulting not only our religion or our faith, but you are also insulting our beloved late teacher who is now in heaven. And they beat him up, and they beat him up so much, beat him so badly that he could barely move. In general, as I said earlier, Mughalina is the most powerful monk, maybe next to the Buddha. So he has so much. He has learned so many magical powers. Nobody can harm him, let alone some Tirthika, common people. Even if powerful demons and powerful gods come to beat him up, they cannot do that because he has so much magical power. So Shariputra and Mughalina are so close. So Shariputra went to Mughalina and put him under his monk's robes and covered him up, and he told him, Mughalina, what happened? You are such a great, of course you are an arhat, and also you are a great magician. So why didn't you do some magic power, put on some magic power, and just get rid of them all, or maybe just disappear or something? And Mughalina said, at that time, right, when they are beating me, when they come to beat me, because of my past negative karma, so my negative karma from the past, which I have not purified yet, compelled me, let alone to use the magical power, I cannot even think of any magical spells. So instead of using the magical power is far-fetched, even to think of using a magical power is far beyond me. So I couldn't even think of that. So this shows that even a great magician and a great arhat such as Mughalina has to succumb to their fate. And because of that, Shariputra and Mughalina was writhing in pain and in such a bad shape. And Shariputra looked at him, and Shariputra couldn't handle that. And Shariputra said, I couldn't handle looking at my friend suffering and pain, writhing in pain like this, and I must depart. And Shariputra himself entered into nirvana because he couldn't bear to see his friend suffering like that. And after a few moments, Mughalina also entered into nirvana like that. So when the time comes for one to when our karmic seeds are ripened, mature, then nothing can stop us from enjoying or suffering the effects of our karmic deeds. And so we will pick up from here next week. So if you have questions.
We have one question, Rinpoche.
Yes, go ahead.
1 second, please. Rinpoche?
Yes.
Okay. Rinpoche, due to ignorance in the countless previous lives,
yep.
We have to pay karma in this life, such as sickness or other obstacles.
Yeah.
How can we purify those karmas in this life? Thank you, Rinpoche.
Yeah. Okay. So basically your question is about how to purify your negative karmas in this lifetime, right? So as I said earlier, either you have to pay your pay off your karmic dues through by suffering the consequences, or either through purifying your karmic deeds, negative karmic deeds. So your question is how to do that. So basically, your karmic negativities, right? Karmic stains, karmic negativities. So we have done different karmic. We covered the 10 negative deeds, right, last time. So killing, stealing, like that. So recall each of them. And so there are the negative things that you remember, and then there are the negative things that you don't remember, right? So either way, one by one, focus on your each of the negativities. Okay, let's take killing for example. So think of all the killings, killing human beings, killing animals, killing insects, killing yourself, or killing anybody. So think of all the killing activities or actions that you have committed in the past, and think of all the think of how harmful that was, how negative that was, how much it has hurt. When you kill yourself, how much does it hurt other people, like your loved one, your family, and so on and so forth. When you kill someone else, how much does it hurt the other person as well as their family and related relatives and so on and so forth. And anyway, so think of all the flaws, right? The faults of committing an heinous action such as killing, okay? And feel from the bottom of your heart, feel a very, very, very strong remorse, okay? Very strong remorse for the negative deeds you did. So wanting to, rectify, wanting to, feeling repentance, feeling remorse for all the bad things that you have done, negativity. That's the first thing. Now, and then in front of the Buddha or in front of a holy being, make a confession, confess that from now onwards I'm not going to commit negative deeds such as killing. But killing is just one example, so you do the same with other actions, okay? Like stealing, lying, so on and so forth. So make a very strong commitment in front of the holy beings, such as the Buddha, the Bodhisattvas, or your teacher, and so on and so forth, that I'm not going to engage in any activities such as killing or that is connected to, that is related to killing, okay? And the third one is to engage in activities that is in contradiction or against the thing that you are remorseful against, okay? So if you feel remorseful, if you feel remorse, if you regret killing people, now you should do the exact opposite. You should engage in activities, actions. So when you kill somebody, you shorten someone's life. So in order to contradict that, in order to counteract that, you have to extend someone's life, lengthen someone's life. So by giving food, which sustains life, giving medicine, helping others, lifting others up, so on and so forth, that actually lifts others up. So very strong remorse, regret for doing the bad thing, confessing before the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas, and then engaging in actions that is counteractive to the negative action that you have committed and feeling remorseful against. So when you apply these three methods, then you can purify your negative deeds. Okay, and on top of that, from the tantric practices, you can also do the 100-syllable mantras. You can also do prostration. The prostration is very good. If you do the long prostration, that actually purifies your negativities. If you do the 100-syllable mantras, that's also purifying your negativity. So these are additional practices. Basically, you have these three things. Usually this is called in short. Usually this is called the 4 powers. The 4 powers. I think more appropriate translation would be the 4 counteractive forces. 4 counteractive forces. But anyway, it's all included in the 3 methods that I just explained to you. Okay, so you have to feel strong remorse against the negative deed like killing, and you have to confess before the Buddhas and the Bodhisattva. So then you also have to disengage yourself from the negative action such as killing, and you should engage yourself in its countermeasure, such as helping someone up and lengthening that person's life. So remorse, strong remorse for killing, confessing killing in front of the Buddhas, disengaging yourself from actions such as killing, and engaging in actions that is counteractive to killing, which is to extend someone's life. Yeah. So these four is called the four powers, or the four counteractive forces. And so when you engage in this method, then it actually helps you to purify your negativities. So as I said last week, if your career, if your professional life is about killing something or someone, then it's very difficult to let go of your livelihood. If it's best if you can do that, but if you're not, if you cannot do that, even there is some good thing with that too. So generally in a slaughterhouse, people do not pray. So if you are a Buddhist practitioner and if you are involved working in a slaughterhouse, you could actually pray for the animal and for the sentient beings within there. And on the other hand, you can, as I said earlier in last week's teaching, so the four counter forces, which is to confess before the Buddhas, feeling remorse, and then disengage from negative action, right? So because you have to kill during the walk time, you can always make a commitment to tell yourself, during my off-duty hours, I will not engage, I will disengage in killing animals or killing sentient beings. That way, you start your, the four countermeasure forces practice like this. So during your on-duty time, you have to kill animals, but during your off-duty hours, you make a commitment that you will not engage in any killing activities. You will disengage from any killing activities. So that way, in one way, you are praying for the animals that is being killed in the slaughterhouse, but at the same time, during your off-duty hours, you engage in the practice of the four countermeasures to purify your negative karma as well. I think there's one more question.
Yes, we have one more question, Rinpoche.
Yes, go ahead.
Rinpoche, does karma has a weight? Meaning, bad karma, do we, meaning if we did some bad karma without knowing, does it have less effect versus karma that we did intentionally? Thank you, Rinpoche.
Yeah, so what we covered, yes, absolutely correct. So there are varying, right? Varying levels of karma. Some karmas carry a heavier weight, and some karmas carry a lesser weight. So I'm not going to go detail into the technicalities because that can be, quite confusing. So what I'm going to say here is, your question is right. Some karma has more value, even if it's the same. So karma basically means action, right? So even if you commit an action, that karma, so it's called in Tibetan jela masabale, which means that our karma has been committed, an action has been committed, but it has not been accumulated. So it's difficult to explain it in a short period. But I'm going to say this. I will just give an example. So when we drive a car or when we are walking, unintentionally we step on animals. We step on insects, right? So sometimes we don't even know that we step on insects. Sometimes we are driving and we maybe ram into squirrels and things like that. We have no intention to kill them, but once we kill them, when we realize that we have done the mistake, we always feel remorse and we repent that. And on the other hand, like when we walk around and we don't see the animals, the insects that we trample upon, so the action is there. You killed an insect, so there is a negative karma there because you engage in a negative karma. But it is not done with the full intention, right? To kill them. So if you remember the previous week's, 2-3 weeks lesson, I told you about in order for an action, in order for an karma to be what is known as a full-fledged karma, is that you need to have the intention, you need to put on the act, you need to engage in the act, and you need to derive pleasure or derive some sort of satisfaction from doing that. You need to have the intention to kill someone. You need to engage in the action of killing someone, and then you need to derive satisfaction from that killing. So if all these three things are factored in, then this becomes a full-fledged karma, and then it is irreversible, and it is irreversible. And then you will have to purify. You will have to work very hard to purify that karma, because in order to purify that, you need to feel a very, very strong remorse, or you need to undergo the karmic consequences. But if it's not a full-fledged karma, okay, so if you killed someone, like trampling on an insect, you have no intention to kill the insect. You did not even know that you killed the insect, and there is no satisfaction from killing the insect. So you just engage in the act of killing the insect. So in this case, the value of the karmic negative karma is very low. So usually this can be transferred, or these are transferable in the form of having a headache or a toothache or some other minor some minor discomfort within your body, and then it is your negative karmic debt is paid off.
We have one more question, Rinpoche.
Yeah, go ahead.
Rinpoche, in our place where usually we have a waste food in our meals, are there any praise that being in other realms that can enjoy the waste food?
Yeah, okay. So there, okay, I don't have the mantra available right now, but I think a couple months ago I gave a transmission of the mantra for the distributing what we usually call the six waste, like stool, urine, saliva, and so all these different things. So there are different mantras for distributing the waste, the human waste. Okay, the human waste. There are different mantras for that. I shared that like a couple months back in this group. Maybe you are not here at that time. So I will share that to you next time. I don't have the mantra ready right now, so it's gonna, so we're already over time right now. So next week I will share that with you. Okay, there is mantra for that. Yeah.
There's one more question. You're looking for elaboration from Kim?
Yes. So Kim.
So the question is, can we purify ahead of time, thinking that we will commit some bad karmas? Can we purify ahead, thinking we had done bad karma?
If it's committed in the past, then how can
it's not ahead?
Yeah. So if you mean, okay, if your question is regarding, okay, you can ask the question if you like.
Kim, can you unmute and ask the question, please?
Yeah.
What I meant, can you hear me, Rinpoche?
Yeah. Go ahead.
What I meant is nothing happened to you currently, but then you worry that something may happen to you in the future.
Okay.
So you go ahead and try to purify whatever that you've done.
Yeah. Okay, got it. Yeah, I got your question. Okay. Yeah. So of course, you always have to purify for your negative karma that you have done in the past ahead of time. Because if you are suffering that karma, then it's already too late. There's no way to revert it. If you are suffering that karma, then you have to, there's no way to revert it. Okay, so to revert that karma which you are already suffering, it's almost impossible. Okay. For example, if you have done some negative karma and then you are born as a blind person, it's almost impossible to become unblind. Okay. So this is one example. Similarly, if you are already experiencing the consequence of your negative karma, then it's almost impossible to reverse it. So we always try to purify our negative karma that we have done in the past ahead of time before we actually experience the suffering. Yeah, always have to purify before ahead of time. Yeah.
So I thought when we purified it, meaning you shorten the duration of the suffering.
Yes. So it applies to some and it doesn't apply to others. So if you are born as a blind person, it's almost impossible to become unblind. But if you are born as a poor person, through accumulation of merit and through purification, you can become well off, right? So that's why I'm saying almost impossible. So it depends on the situation of what karmic consequences that you are going through. So if you are going through depression, through different methods, that depression can be reversed. So there are some irreversible damages and there are some reversible damages. It depends. So it's always best to purify ahead of time before you are experiencing the negative karma. Is it?
That's all the questions for today, Rinpoche.
Oh yeah, thank you for sharing the mantra. So yeah, so yeah, I think it is clear for you. We need to purify ahead of time. That's the best thing. But if we cannot, if we are already experiencing our negativities, we can also try to purify the negativities, the karmic consequences that we are suffering in this suffering. But that takes much more effort. Yeah. So yeah, please go ahead. Yeah. So you can take a look at the messages. There is all the mantras for blessing or the blessing the waste food or the waste human waste, and so you can recite these mantras, any of these mantras, when you offer the waste food. Okay. Okay. So we will do the dedication now. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Let's dedicate our merit that we have accumulated now. Yewan di ye nyulu ama rowa je yama lu mba nke ji sala geba ma ge ba nama ge gyo ji ba me bora ye kon me wara ye